At the start of Hollow Knight, most of Hallownest citizens have become victims of the infection. However, a notable number of characters remain who are not infected. The question is, how did each of them avoid getting infected? I'll be discussing my speculations in this video. For multiple characters, the answer is that they just recently arrived in Hallownest and the infection has not had time to get into their minds yet. These are Cornifer, Iselda, Cloth, Zote, Mr. Mushroom, and presumably Tiso. Cornifer and Iselda are looking for a place to live with plenty of space for Cornifer to explore and map, while Cloth, Tiso, and Zote came seeking adventure in Hallownest's ruin. Mr. Mushroom seems to have some kind of duty to fulfill. There are some characters who likely resist the infection because they are old and wise or their minds are strong enough. Mato and Oro frequently meditate while Shio creates art. Bardoon is aware of the infection attempting to enter his mind, but he is able to resist and ignore it. There are other older characters such as Elderbug, the Seer, Ogrim, and the last Stag, but it's not as clear as to how they avoided infection. They could have been determined to hold on as the last of their respective kinds, the last Stag of the Stag species, the Seer of the Moth tribe, Ogrim as a Great Knight of Hallownest, and Elderbug as a permanent resident of Dirtmouth. There are others whose activities probably provide enough of a distraction for them to avoid the infection. These are Willow, Tuck, the Nailsmith, Maskmaker, Relic Seeker Lem, Salubra, Emilicia, Pale Lurker, Menderbug, Fluke Hermit, and the audience in the Coliseum of Fools. The Nailsmith is always working on honing nails and Maskmaker is always making masks, even though there seem to be no customers for either of them left other than the night for the Nailsmith. Willow enjoys her fungus treats, Salubra enjoys her charms, Lem examines his relics to get information from them, Menderbug fixes things, Tuck and Fluke Hermit hunt for treasure in the waterways, Pale Lurker enjoys the treasure that she has, and the Coliseum audience watches the fools in combat. Emilicia laughs at the mindless husks of her former fellows, and perhaps having been cast out strengthened her willpower enough to make her resist the infection. However, Mila was constantly mining in Crystal Peak and singing to occupy her mind, yet she still got infected. As some have speculated, it may have something to do with the light and power contained in the crystals being similar to the light of the infection, and being near the crystals and fixating on them allowed the infection to take over Mila's mind. Then there are others who have their own unique explanations. Quirrell was outside Hallownest for some time and lost his memories, and he has only recently returned to the kingdom when the knight does the same. Gigi has been asleep for a long time, and Jin and Zamer appear to have been the same way. They were most likely not dreaming during this time, as that would have been a way for the infection to enter their minds even when they were asleep. Midwife is of the Spider tribe, who were a fairly intelligent species. The same is true of the uninfected Weaver seen exiting the Weaver's Den. The mantises we know are able to resist the infection through their powerful intellect. The snail shaman in the ancestral mound may have some sort of ability, either natural or learned, of resisting the infection. Some other characters are waiting for something which could be keeping them distracted. The hunter is waiting to bestow the hunter's mark, Millabelle is waiting for someone to give her their geo and to return to the pleasure house, and the grub father is waiting for his children to return home so that their metamorphosis can occur and he can play his part in it. I suppose this could also apply to Leg Eater and Little Fool, as Leg Eater is waiting for someone to give him geo and Little Fool is waiting for more warriors to enter the Coliseum. Hornet likely resists the infection because she is half worm, making her mind strong enough, or she keeps her mind occupied by patrolling and protecting what's left of Hallownest, possibly both. Worth noting is that although all of these characters hadn't been infected yet as of the events of the game, it was likely only a matter of time. Sly and Bretta, as long as they must have resisted the infection, had begun to be affected by it when the knight arrives in Hallownest, plus the White Lady says that the infection getting to every last creature was inevitable unless something was done about the Hollow Knight. We still don't know for sure how exactly the infection works and why some creatures fall to it and others don't, but we can always speculate about it. So what do you think? How do you believe some bugs get infected and others avoid it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to check out the rest of my Hollow Knight content and subscribe for more. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.